Want to know the real secret to making one meal a day feel effortless? It is not just about fasting. It's about your mindset and your habits working together. Because if you can shift the way you think about eating, fasting, and even self-discipline, you're going to set yourself up for long-term success. Since June 2020, I have read so many books about fasting, but there are also ones that have changed not only my fasting lifestyle, but my life in general that have nothing to do with fasting, and I'm going to share two of them with you today. Atomic Habits by James Clear and The High Five Habit by Mel Robbins. These books are not about fasting, but they teach principles that are so relevant to the fasting lifestyle. And once I started applying the principles from these books, OMAD became even easier. Let's start with a simple but life-changing truth from Atomic Habits. Your habits shape your identity. You can find more about that on page 34. In this book, James Clear talks about how the small, consistent actions that we take reinforce who we believe we are. Do you want to be a person who fasts effortlessly? The key is building in tiny habits that reinforce that identity. For example, if you want to be someone who fasts successfully, you don't wake up and hope for the best. You build systems that make it easy, like setting a morning routine that signals the start of your fast or keeping hydration options on hand so fasting feels good instead of like a struggle. Another game changer from Atomic Habits is the idea of habit stacking. This means pairing a new habit with something that you're already doing. And if you're trying to become a new faster, how can you integrate the fasting lifestyle into things that you already do? For example, if every morning you wake up and you have coffee or tea, how can you use that as a trigger to plan your fasting day? When you have your morning beverage, that habit can be stacked on as your time to plan your fast and plan your eating window. As you're sipping, ask yourself, how long do I want to fast today? What in my day dictates when I can or can't eat? What is my eating window going to look like? You can take that time to intentionally set your plan, which is going to make fasting less unknown and more likely to be done. If you always go for an afternoon walk, pair it with having some water so that you can stay hydrated while fasting. These little pairings reinforce the habit without adding a ton of extra effort. And speaking of hydration while fasting, there is something that's been huge for me and is totally a habit in my fasting routine. Having the right electrolytes on hand helps my fast to feel effortless, which is why I absolutely love Element. Element is an electrolyte company that offers you 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. They are available in single-serve packets or grab-and-go sparkling water cans. They offer a variety of flavors. I personally love the fruity ones, or if you're going for a completely clean fast and you don't want any flavors, they have the raw unflavored that you can have as well. Both offer the same elements that are going to help you to stay hydrated and feeling good on your fast, which for me is super important. When I can stay feeling good, I can keep up the habit of fasting. And right now, Element's offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serve packets free with any Element order. It's the perfect way to try 8 of their flavors or to share Element with a salty friend. You can get yours by going to drinkelement.com/fastingfoodie. That's drinklmnt.com/fastingfoodie. Thank you so much to Element for sponsoring this video and being a great part of my fasting journey. The High Five Habit by Mel Robbins introduces you to something so simple, but definitely worth exploring: celebrating yourself daily. She talks about physically giving yourself a high five each morning in the mirror because your brain associates that motion with encouragement. You're daily giving yourself encouragement, and you can apply the same thing to fasting. Instead of waking up each morning and dreading your future day's fast, what if you celebrate it and you treat it as an act of self-care? Every time you make it through a fast, every time that you have an eating window, you are reinforcing that you are someone that deserves the self-care and someone that follows through and sticks with fasting. You are reinforcing that you are someone who takes care of themselves, and that matters. Another concept that Mel talks about that you can find out more about starting on page 47 is that you need to change the story that you are telling yourself. If you're constantly beating yourself up for not doing fasting perfectly, or you say, I'm bad at fasting, or I messed up my eating window, that is what your brain's gonna believe. But what if you start telling yourself, I'm getting better at fasting. I'm learning, but I'm gonna keep going. I tried it today and I know what I could do better tomorrow. There are so many ways that you could rephrase, whether it's mentally or audibly, the things that you say about yourself in your fasting journey. When you change the way you talk about and to yourself, you change your results. I truly believe that, and I loved reading all about the concept in the book. So if OMAD has ever felt hard, ask yourself these questions. Am I building habits that support OMAD? Have I shifted my mindset so fasting feels like a gift and not a restriction? These small things do matter. Tiny habits build up over time. And when you get your mindset right, the lifestyle seems so much easier and more enjoyable. Now, if you want to take a deeper dive into how Atomic Habits specifically applies to intermittent fasting, check out this video on how intermittent fasting helps to shape your eating habits for the better right here. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao, Donna, ciao.